Afternoon. I'm going to try and just show you what I did to upgrade my VPinMAME and VPX. Everybody's system's different. It's just if you are confident in what you're doing but just want that extra little bit of support, I would recommend backing anything up before you start. Let's see how we get on. Hopefully it will help you with Dark Chaos and Walking Dead, things like that may be new. Okay, so first things first, I have created a new folder called Visual Pinball Backup May 2005. I've already done the copy, but basically went into my Visual Pinball, selected everything that's in there. Your stuff might be a little bit different. I'm not saying this is the neatest in the world. I excluded tables just because it's enormous and I'm not too worried about that. I've got a full backup of my hard drive anyway. Copied that and then just pasted it into that Visual Pinball Backup May. So I've skipped that just because it took a few seconds, but that I've got my my original version. I have downloaded 4 sets of files, well 5 if we include Walking Dead, but 4 sets of files here. We have got main download minimal, which is the VPX final version. So what I'm going to do first is just I'm going to copy all of these, copy them and paste them just into my Visual Pinball directory. I'm just going to replace files in the destination. What I should say is when you've downloaded these zip files to start with, what you probably want to do is right click on them, click properties, and if you see unblock as an option there, you tick that to unblock it and apply or OK to the file. Otherwise you can have some problems. I've got this PC set up so we don't need to do that. So just copied those files in there. What you will notice is that we have VPinBall X.exe, which is the 32-bit, I believe, and we have VPinBall X64.exe, which is 64-bit. As a rule, I run the 64-bit by default. So what I actually do here, you don't have to do this, is I rename that -x86. I'm going to put a brackets 1 on this because I've already got that from a previous version. So if I actually delete that, I'm not very good as a demo of this, but basically I've renamed that file as x86, so the 32-bit version, and then the VPinBall X64 version. I just make a copy of that, paste it, and then just rename that as VPinBall X.exe. So by default it will run the 64-bit. Now you can change that in Popper and you can actually point the emulation to the 64-bit. I probably should have done that, but that's just how I've done it before, so that's how I'm continuing to do that. If it's just a copy that you want to bring over from previous, please do that. So that is effectively the 64-bit update. This is obviously not taking you to 64-bit, but if you've already done that, latest version. So that's the VPinBall 80 minimal. Second thing to do is the VPinMAME. Once again, unblock the zip. Now you notice this has got the setup XE, which is the 32-bit, and the setup 64. You copy all of these files. The one I don't copy is the VPM alias.txt. Quite often you will have something in your folder where you've already put aliases in. Don't want that overwriting. And this time we're just going to move this into the Visual Pinball VPinMAME directory. So this is where these sit. Once again, just dragged and dropped all of those into there. Replace the files in the destination. Okay, that's everything in there. From this though, we need to run setup.exe and install to install the COM object, and then the same thing for setup 64exe. Both updated. Okay. Everything else we can leave as is. And then finally, also into this directory, we need to update FlexDMD. So once again, unblock the file if you need to. Open these and drag all that into your VPinMAME directory. Replace the files. And then run the FlexDMD UI and basically just register. Okay, done there. So I think that's all I did, and the best thing is I'm experimenting on my brother's VPin here, so yeah, if it cocks up, so what. Then finally I'm going to open Dark Chaos and drop that as usual just into the tables directory. I'm going to drop the two screen in, which is the version that Rich will use. I won't go through updating the other things there. So we just quickly rename those so that they're both the same. And then if I run Dark Chaos, obviously I'm doing this through TeamViewer, so it's going to look a little bit weird. But hopefully when that runs, see the screens loading there. I'll go back to monitor 1. And although it would say it is over TeamViewer, it's quite it's a little bit slow. The other thing that you will have to do, which I think it kind of says you'll have to do anyway in the setup, but you will have to move the high scores onto the back glass. There's possibly some more support on that. I managed it on mine. Probably I just need to run that in window mode to enable that. So probably can't give you quite the information there. But looks like that runs okay. What I think I'll probably quickly do is just drop the Walking Dead one into there as well. Let's just run that direct from where it is. Obviously this is not going to have any back glass on it, anything like that, because I've not sorted that out. But once again, as you can see, we've got the non-colorized DMD, so a little job for me to do that. But yeah, that looks pretty good, even though it's on over a Teams viewer. That looks amazing, so I'm looking forward to playing that as well. Okay, I know that's a bit of a fly through. It's not too much of a polished tutorial, but basically just to try and give you a little bit of confidence on updating the VPX and your VPinMAME as well as FlexDMD. Hope that's useful. If you've got any questions, as I say, I would certainly look at people who've done a lot of practice on this, but really it was just a quick update to see if you can, if you've got confidence to do that for the weekly challenge. Cheers all.